What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo HOU Houston Texans podcast. My name is Noah Outlaw. I'm one of your hosts as always, and as always, I'm here with Garrett Harrelson. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my man? The
Nothing
draft.
much, dude.
The
I
draft.
know. It's
The
over.
draft. It happened. It did it. They
Yeah.
did it. Everyone did it.
It's crazy how the draft, there's just months and months and months of buildup and anticipation, and then in 3 days, it's over. And then most of the time, everything that you've been thinking about for months, you've been like, they're going to do this, and then they're going to do this, and then they don't do any of it.
No, and it just doesn't. None of it happens. Like
No.
there was maybe like 4 or 5 things that happened in the draft that I was like, I knew that was going to happen. Everything else, I was like,
Yeah.
and I'm just talking about in the draft in general.
Yeah,
you know?
not even Texans, just like
Yeah,
I
I was walking around, saying to myself, well, Travis Hunter it's a Cleveland Brown. That didn't happen.
No,
I was walking around.
fucking
Yeah,
Jacksonville Jaguar now.
Yeah, I was walking around thinking, oh, Shedeur Sanders is going to get drafted by the Saints or the Steelers. That definitely didn't happen. And this was a pretty funny, funny draft.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
The Shedeur situation is funny. Like I don't know if he should have slid that far. I don't know what he was doing in those meetings. I don't know. It's like Twitter was so goddamn funny. Twitter was hilarious. It was killing me, just like saying like Shedeur must have been in there calling them broke and shit. Like,
oh God, that was one of the funnier ones, or the one that said like he must have just answered every question with legendary.
Yeah, man.
Very funny tweets.
Mm-hmm. But Shedeur Sanders ended up going to the Browns, which kind of was what people thought was going to happen, but not with the second overall pick, but with the fifth round, like
100 million pick. I don't know.
Yeah. But congrats to Shedeur. Sorry you got prank called. That was a bummer. That's lame.
Yeah, that is lame. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Still a little funny, but what's not very funny is that ended up being the fucking Jeff Ulbricht's son or whatever, that defensive coordinator's son from the Falcons.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's actually makes it not funny anymore. It's like, oh shit. All right. Because that's just the lack of wherewithal. It's given me secondhand embarrassment. And I'm like, oh.
He's also not like a 16-year-old either. I'm pretty sure he's not like a kid. Like
I think he goes to Ole Miss. I think he was in a college dorm room when he was making that call. Yeah, so I mean, and also it came out that like Tyler Warren got prank called by them. They prank called other people that they were starting to come forward.
Yeah.
So the players are coming forward now.
Well, the one that sucks the most, and we'll get to the draft, the Texans draft here in a minute, but like the one that sucks the most is there was a guy who got prank called that didn't end up getting drafted at all.
Oh, that sucks.
Like that's the one that's like that guy was probably so jacked up, dude. Like he was so excited, and then it got prank called, and now he doesn't have a team. Now he's at Amazon.
Vibe check. It's a vibe. Yeah, that's like the biggest vibe check. Not getting drafted, being led to believe you're going to get drafted by deceit, right? A deceitful individual, and then not get drafted. It's two double whammies.
And it's some little punk whose dad is a defensive coordinator in the NFL. Some little rich kid.
Oh yeah, he's a little rich bitch. A little rich bitch. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes it worse. If it would have been just someone like you and I.
Yeah,
bad, we shitty,
right?
But
right.
We're not rich bitches,
No, and our dads aren't in the NFL. Like they're not NFL coaches. Like that's
we're not nepo babies,
dude. That kid must have got his ass beat by his dad. Like that was
sure.
That must have been terrible.
What do you even do? How do you even punish your kid?
No,
I would almost disown my kid.
It's really bad when you are an NFL coach and your son does something that the team has to apologize for.
Oh, that's like crazy. Public statement and everything.
Yeah.
And then the team had to be like, we don't condone any of this. Like, well, okay, by the way, I know we're getting a little off topic, but talking about that kid, if you have a father and he's a coordinator or a coach or something for an NFL team, if you're not working your goddamn ass off to get into or be working for an NFL
Yeah.
like organization or
Yeah.
that one even. Like
Yeah.
you're dumb. You're so dumb. You ruined it, dude. You could have had
Yeah.
the best job in the NFL.
That kid
Like
will
he was in
never get
college.
hired.
He's in
Yeah.
college. He could have graduated and just been like, boom, NFL job. If he just
Yeah.
grinded, but boom, he ruined it. Just because he
Yep.
wanted to make a few funny calls with his buddies. Now
Yeah.
I'm starting to hate it. Now I'm starting to hate
Yeah.
it. Like
No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And someone
but
like Shador might have like a good sense of humor about it, maybe. But these Tyler Warren probably doesn't. This kid who didn't get drafted at all,
oh, I
definitely
wouldn't.
doesn't.
Yeah,
No,
I'd be pretty
I'd be hunting
upset.
that kid John Wick style, dude. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna really make you feel the way. Like I'd be pissed. But
Yeah.
let's get into this the Texans draft. The NFL
Yeah.
draft obviously is over. It was fun. A lot of fun storylines. But the Texans, had an eventful draft. Nick Caserio, this guy loves a trade, man.
This guy, honestly, he would do this if he wasn't even getting paid. If he wasn't even getting paid, he would do this. This guy does it for the love of the game.
Oh, yeah.
He loves making deals, trying to make deals. Apparently, they were like he's trying to trade up, down, sideways, diagonally. The Cowboys said that he was trying to trade for 12, but he was like lowballing them, so they had to say no. Like the everything coming out at like during the draft and after the draft, I'm like, this guy loves to do it. This guy loves the game.
Mm-hmm. I am going to talk about the lowballing thing whenever we get into the first pick of the draft, because we'll get into it. But obviously, the first pick for the Texans trade out of 25. They get 34. So 2 years in a row, the Texans have traded out of the first round. Caserio loves doing that, and I respect that thought process. I respect the thought process of being like guys from 20 to 40. That 20 to 40 range are usually probably around the same level of player. And so if you could trade back and get, just get a lot more, get a lot more draft capital so Caserio can trade, 47 more times, like do it. So the Texans move back to 34 and they draft wide receiver Jaden Higgins at Iowa State. Jaden Higgins is a guy we've been talking about for a long time. He's been, he's been in the names with, obviously wasn't the top wide receiver, wasn't in that conversation, but in that second tier of player. People kind of even put him in there with Mika Egbuka and Luther Burden, like these guys who obviously some talented receivers. So they get Jaden Higgins at 34. Garrett, what was your reaction to that?
I was excited about that. I knew they were probably going receiver with that first pick because there was a lot of them still. I mean, there's a lot of receivers this draft that could have gone all top 100, which a lot of them did. So that happened. But I was thinking, I mean, this is either like Luther Burden right here or Jaden Higgins or something, which there was rumors that they were both going to get in the first round.
Yeah.
We went with Jaden Higgins. I like it. I didn't expect it. I thought we were going Luther Burden, but I like the Jaden Higgins pick because he's a Nico clone. He runs like Nico. He jumps like Nico. He is a dog in college. What the lowest drop rate out of every receiver in the draft class with like 1.4% drop rate. That's insane. That's insane hands. That's like DeAndre Hopkins hands in Clemson right there. And he's can run like a deer, can jump out of the gym. I really like it. We can give our letter grade at any point.
We'll give it at the end of each player discussion.
Yeah. I like it. He's a playmaker. We needed a receiver that he fits the bill, and he seems like a dog. So he fits the culture.
Yeah, I like the pick as well. Like you said, like the whenever you can have a guy whose NFL comp is Nico Collins, who Nico is obviously we know and the league now knows. We've known for a little while longer than Nico was a dog than the entire league, but they finally caught on, putting him in top 5 conversations where he belongs.
Yeah.
But so if you can get a guy who's just his comp is Nico Collins, big guy, big body, red zone threat, which I love. At Iowa State, constantly going to him in the red zone. That's what he said. He said it in his interviews. He's like, I want to be the guy who puts points on the board. Like, I want to be that guy. And
I like it.
We all know the Texans' red zone struggles last season were it was atrocious. I mean, let's not even talk about how we went. I think like 6 games in a row, 7 games in a row, maybe more without scoring a second half touchdown. So these are guys who we really need. We need a guy like this, a red zone threat, who because Nico's a threat anywhere on the field. But now whenever you have 2 of those dudes who can just get open at any time in the red zone specifically and get points on the board, of course that's the whole point of the game, and we'll take all the help we can get there. I like it a lot. I like the pick. Him and Nico just like on each side of the field is going to be incredible to watch. And then you have Christian Kirk in the slot, and then another player that we'll talk about here in a little bit down there, maybe in the slot as well. It's going to be really fun. Now, I will say, I'll give you my letter grade. I'm giving this an A minus. I was gonna give it an A, but I will say this goes back to the conversation we had a little bit ago about Nick Caserio lowballing the Cowboys. They wanted Egbuka. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to trade up for Egbuka. It has been said, and I've been on the mountaintop screaming Amika's name all offseason. And I don't know. It's just like with the way that Caserio made some other trades, giving up like a 3rd round pick for one of our 4th round guys that we ended up getting. Like, it's just like, okay, why didn't you put your money where your mouth is to go get Egbuka? And we obviously have no idea how this is going to go. Jaden Higgins might be a lot better than Egbuka, but Egbuka went 19 to the Bucks. That is a great pick for them. And I really wanted Egbuka, and I'm just like, Nick Caserio, throw in that extra 3rd. Throw in something else to go get the guy that you wanted. That's why it's not a knock on Jaden. That's just why I'm giving it an A minus from the franchise's perspective, because I think you could have had one of the higher graded receivers in the draft. And if you just wouldn't have been cheap, and the way they handled some of the trades later in the draft, I think they gave up too much in that respect. So I'm like, why did you decide to lowball in the first, but they gave away way too much later? That was a problem I had. But still really excited about Jaden.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Some of the trade ups and trade downs and what their values were and what we gave up and what we got and all that. Who knows if I've been proven to know nothing, basically. I don't know ball. I don't know ball at all. So maybe there is a good reason for all that. I'm kind of glad they didn't trade up to 12 to get Egbuka. Because I bet you the Cowboys really wanted Booker. They liked Booker a lot. Probably really wanted something of ours that we did not want to give up. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the trade down too, because Golden went and Donovan Jackson went. At that point, there was no one really in the first round that I cared about anymore. So I'm cool with the trade down. I'm gonna give the Jaden Higgins, and I'm a tough grader this year, man. I'm gonna give it a B plus. It's still a really solid pick, really good pick, but I think I'm gonna be changing it to A minus by the middle of the season or end of the season, because I think Jaden Higgins people have him as wide receiver 1 in this draft. And that's for a good reason too. He is a talented individual, and like you said, hey, we have Nico Collins. Look at this younger Nico Collins. What if you just paired him up with Nico Collins and Nico Collins? That to me, that's like not a recipe. It's a recipe for a good thing, in my opinion. So it's a good dish. I'm gonna give it a B plus for now, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna change it to an A minus, because I like the pick. I love the pick a lot. He's gonna fit really well with our culture.
I agree. Yeah, no, you'll change it to an A minus in training camp when the Texans post a clip of him having like a one-handed snag.
When John Harris starts gushing over him in training camp, like in July, and it's 110 degrees outside, I'll probably be like, all right, that was an A minus pick. That was an A minus pick right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jaden Higgins, you are a Houston Texan. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you for everything you're going to do. All right, second pick. Second round, I believe the pick was 44. I want to
Yes,
say
44 the second round. We traded up.
Yeah, Ariante Ursary, left tackle out of Minnesota. First off, cool name.
Yeah,
Good name.
You know, it's funny. At first it's a weird name, but then you kind of look at it for a second longer, and you're like, Ariante Ursary. I know how to say that. Okay.
It comes off the tongue very smoothly.
Yeah.
Ariante
When you have good
Ursary.
reading comprehension like us, you can kind of like just see things and know how to read them and not have to sound them out like an idiot. You know.
Right.
But and then when you say it the first time, Ariante Ursary, you're like, oh, I kind of liked how that felt. Kind of like that. I kind of like how that felt saying that. So, good name.
Yeah.
No
So, Garrett, give me
name.
your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on Ursary.
At first, I had to look into him after the draft. Full transparency, because I thought we were getting a guy way earlier than that, so I wasn't focusing on him a lot. But I started to look into him after. He's really good. He's a really good tackle. A lot of people are saying that he could very well end up being one of the best offensive linemen to come out of this draft. First of all, he's a mammoth. He's a mountain of a person. He's
6'6", 331.
331. He's humongous. He's pretty athletic too. I think the stat was he had like 427 pass blocking snaps last season in the Big Ten and only allowed 1 sack. That's not nothing. That's that you're going against guys like, Abdul Carter, so you're going against NFL stars over there. Mm-hmm. That's a really good pick. We had to address offensive line. I didn't know where we were going to go. I thought maybe we'd take Ratledge put him in the inside. Looks like we got ourselves a pure tackle, because there's no way a 6'6" man is fitting in the middle in that line. So that's a tackle we got. We got a tackle.
Yeah, well, he's only ever played left tackle at high levels. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe in high school he moved around. I doubt it though, because he's such a big motherfucker. But
too big,
dude. He's crazy. I'm like, how do you? I'm 6'4.5". I'm gonna give myself that half. I might say 6'5" sometimes. I try to say 6'5". So I'm almost as tall as this guy. It's hard, but like I look at him and look at me and like we're not the same. We're not the same human being.
He probably outweighs you by like 100 pounds or something.
Yeah, not quite 100, but close. But he's like, I just don't understand how you go through life like walking into rooms and stuff being that size. And that comes from me, someone who's not far off. Like it's difficult, but I respect what he does on the field. And you're right. You mentioned he's athletic, dude. He can move.
Yeah,
like he
ran
not
a 5,
like
he almost ran a 5 flat, man.
I know. Like he can move, and I like the pick. I think he has a lot of potential. Obviously, after the Tunsil trade, a left tackle makes sense. The only thing is, I guess, really just like I don't expect to see him much this year. That's the thing, and maybe he needs a year to sit and just kind of get used to the league, get used to just the NFL and the process of being in the NFL. But because if you look at it, all right, well, we have Cam Robinson, who's going to play left tackle, probably. We have Titus Howard, who's also been linked to the left tackle position after the Tunsil trade. So that's 2 guys who are both paid, who are not on their rookie deals, who Cam Robinson's making $12 million. I don't know what Titus is making this year, but he's making good money. Like he's making very solid money because the Texans decided to re-sign him a couple of years back for some reason. I don't know. I'm sorry, that was harsh, but we got
to put our fucking chips on him now, dude. So
no, I know, but I like Titus. I just think like it hasn't fully lived up to that contract, and it might be the team's fault with moving him around from right to left to left guard and all this and that. But I don't really know where he's going to play this year. Simple as that. He's not going to play right tackle. He's not.
I kind of think Titus will be a guard to start off the season.
Yeah.
I think Cam Robinson. We're getting a little off. Well, I guess maybe not off track, but I mean, I don't want to expand on it too much.
We're talking about the position group.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't want to spend a ton of time on it. Cam Robinson's probably going to start left tackle at first, I believe, until maybe he's injured or not very good, and then they'll bring in Ariante. But Yeah, I don't expect Ursary to start unless he just comes into training camp and he's ready to go. He's getting the playbook down. He's taking leadership qualities in and expressing them. So hey, he could easily come. I mean, he said on the phone to Nick Serio, "You just got the best tackle in the draft," or D'Amico, or one of them. Maybe he comes in and he's immediately a stud, and we put him in at right tackle, left tackle. I don't know, but I don't expect him to start right away. That's just my prediction for now.
Yeah, I don't either, and that's okay. Like, because if we can get a guy like him, who Cam Robinson's on a 1-year deal, who knows how that goes. I actually think Cam Robinson still has gas in the tank, and the team does as well. They paid him $12 million. That's not cheap.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. So obviously, Cam Robinson has a role on this offensive line. So I think you're right. I think Titus is going to slot into the left guard position. I don't think they're going to move Ursary to the other side of the line. He's never not played that side, and it's a big jump. And I hope they don't. I don't want to do that to a rookie. I don't want to bring it. You're going to play left tackle this year. We're going to put you at right guard. No. He can't play interior. I don't think he's just far too big, like you mentioned. So I don't know. That's the only thing. That's the only thing about this pick that I'm like, that's interesting. But if we're going for the future, left tackle the future, I love it. I think it's a good pick. I think I'm gonna say. I think I'll give it a B.
I was going back and forth between B and B plus, but since they did, because during the time I was like, that's a B, I guess, B minus. But doing the homework on Ursary, he seems like he's going to be a quality level starter in the NFL at some point. Could be day one, could be day 100. I don't know. So I'm going to give it a B plus, same as the Jaden Higgins. They addressed a need and they got a good player. And that for that need, that's a B plus right there. I mean, maybe he's not a star yet. That's why he doesn't get an A minus, A plus. Mm-hmm. But B plus, because it's like he could probably start day one and be pretty good. Who knows? So
I'm going if he starts day one, I'll bump it up to a B plus.
If he starts day one, he's definitely good enough to. He's better than Cam Robinson and whoever else we have battling out at training camp. So that almost could get an A if you can get a starter in the second round.
Yeah, I'll bump it up to an A. You're right. Yeah,
starting tackle in the second round, that doesn't come around too often. So hopefully, Nick has had his problems drafting offensive linemen in the later rounds. So hopefully, Ursary kind of breaks that streak a little bit. I think he will. I like him a lot. He's a dog. So
yeah. All right. Next up, another Iowa State receiver, Garrett and Noah, who is another guy that we've all had our eyes on. He's another guy who I didn't think the Texans were going to double dip at receiver.
No, that's one of the things. One of the things that surprised me, when I said that they did a bunch of things I did not expect. That's one of them. Thought one receiver in the day two receiver, and then maybe a 6th round, 7th round receiver. No, they in the same day. They were just said we need to, we like him together, I guess. We need to completely overhaul the receiver room. That's probably what's going to happen. And then they just double dipped with the Iowa State boys over there.
Yeah, same day, same team, similar names. They're all there are a lot of connections here. And I will say this has been talked about a lot. This isn't news, but obviously Jaden Higgins gets the Nico comp. Garrett and Noah has the Christian Kirk comp. So that tells me this is my theory on this. Is I think that Nick Haley has a very specific idea for this offense of what it looks like. And I think that's why they brought in Christian Kirk. And I think Nico obviously has a huge role in that. And I think those two different types of receivers will complement each other very well in Nick Haley's offense, whatever he's planning on doing. I'm excited to see what his plans are. So I think Haley was like, hey, go get that guy who's like Nico, and go get that guy who's like Jalen. So then, or like Kirk, and so then we have Nico, we have Kirk, and then if Kirk it leaves or we can't sign him or we don't want to sign him, then we have a guy who's similar to him we can bring up. And I think Nico's going to be like a career Texan for the most part. But if for some reason in the future Nico's like, nah, I'm leaving, then there you go. You got Higgins, and you still have those two guys. You still have the same similar types of players. You just have like just the younger versions of them under contract for the next 4 goddamn years, maybe 5. So, or and beyond, obviously. So I love this pick. He's 5'11". He's 200. He's not. I in my head he was smaller. Like I thought he was like closer to Tank Dell size, but he's not. He's a big boy.
He's stout. He's stout. Yeah. He might not be, obviously he's not as big as some other behemoths at receiver in the NFL. Yeah. Like he's no Mike Evans by no means, but the way I view him, I view him like as a Randall Cobb type. He looks like and plays like Randall Cobb.
He does look like Randall Cobb.
Stout. He's gonna. Yeah. I mean, with the ball in his hands, he's turbo. He's moving. He's fluid all over the field. He can probably run any route that you can give him. He's probably going to run it pretty well. Yeah. I was surprised when we got this guy because when we got Higgins, I was like, okay, so that's our receiver for the draft. No, we thought no, we need another receiver. Got Noel. I give this an A-. I give this one an A- because I wanted Jalen Noel in the 3rd round, whatever. Could have got him in the 2nd round. There's people saying that he was going to be a 2nd round pick because he's that good. He's got that kind of skill set. Got him in the 3rd round, and I'm comparing it to other situations. I know it shouldn't, but I think about Malachi Corley last year when the Jets picked him up. Mm-hmm. Malachi Corley coming out of like Western Kentucky, I believe. 3rd round pick for the Jets. Just same kind of skill set with the ball in his hands, and can run like a running back with the ball in his hands, kind of like Jalen Noel, but not even near the same route tree, not even the same kind of hands, not even the same kind of catch and traffic ability. He just clears them by 100 million times at receiver. So we got a guy like Malachi Corley went in the 3rd round. The Jets got him in the 3rd round. We got Jalen Noel in the 3rd round, and he could be an instant day one contributor, I think.
Yeah.
You can also for sure. You can probably also make him a return specialist or something with his speed. So I love the pick. I think it's A-. It's probably my favorite pick of the draft because of the value in 3rd round. I mean, like I said, I think that's like a Tank Dell type pick where he's going to come in day one and immediately look like his skill set's just going to translate really well to the NFL.
Yeah, I gave it a B+. That might be a little low. I could probably bump it up to an A. I like the pick a lot. One thing I noticed is yesterday, we're in a dynasty league, Garrett and I did a mock draft for all the rookies. The Jalen Noel is ranked higher than Higgins in dynasty, which is very interesting. It's interesting to me. Like in the 3-round rookie draft, Noel went in the 2nd, and Higgins went late 3rd, which is very, very interesting. Now maybe that's just the mock, but that's how they're ranked on Sleeper, on the app that we use. So I don't know.
Maybe they're dumb. Maybe it's like not updated yet. Maybe they're dumb.
Or maybe we got a fucking steal in the 3rd round, and we've got Higgins who's incredible in the 2nd. I love it, and I think basically. We went into last season with the 3-headed monster at wide receiver. We went in with Diggs, Nico, Tank, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be great." It fell apart at the seams, and it was a bummer. But basically, I think Caserio was like, "All right, let's just go get their replacements. Let's go get 2 more guys who are really damn good and have a lot of potential, and bring them in and see what they can do." Because not to say Tank is, you need to replace him, but he's not going to play next year, most likely. It would be very, very shocking if he played next year. And sadly, we don't know if Tank's ever going to be the same player. He wasn't last year, after his 2023 injury. He looked like he missed a step pretty much the entire season, and then he went down, and it was a bummer. So now after this injury, it's like Tank Dell is such a wild card. It would be incredible if he could come back and be what he was in 23 after these injuries. It would be fucking awesome. But that's why another reason I don't think he should play at all, even if he gets cleared by the doctors and to come back late this season, if we're like a playoff, for the playoffs or whatever. Like, no, we don't. Let him take his time, heal fully, have a full off season to just purely train, and we'll see what Tank Dell can do in 2020. Shit, is that gonna be 7? No, 6. Yes, 26. So yeah, I love.
Don't scare me like that, dude. I was like, whoa,
I know. You're right. 26. All right, so let's move on to this pick in the draft. Cornerback Jalen Smith out of USC. A little bit of a reach.
That's what the streets are saying. That's what the streets are saying. I believe we traded up for him as well.
We did. I think this is the guy we gave up a 3rd rounder for. If I'm not.
No, we gave up a 2026 3rd rounder for Woody Marks.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's interesting. Look, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, I am in no position to really judge the guys they bring in because D'Amico has given and Caserio have given us no reason to not trust their process on the defense. So I don't know. Maybe they see something in them that a lot of people didn't. But overall, I mean, I still like it, and I think really the biggest winner of this pick is Frank Ross. I think he got a really good special teams guy, and obviously depth at corner is good, and he's probably going to be more like Petrie's backup. He's going to be Petrie's backup at that nickel corner position. So interesting. Like honestly, when they announced the pick, I was a little surprised. I didn't know much about the guy, to be honest. So, but like I said, I'm not going to question what D'Amico sees in these guys. But another thing is USC has been awful defensively, like terrible.
I mean, that's what they said when we got Kalen Bullock, and he's great. He's great.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
I mean, you can't blame the whole village on one village. You can't.
One village.
Yeah. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't hate the pick. Because they obviously see something in them, and I trust their vision. But also, we definitely need cheap corner depth. We don't need Jeff Okudah being burned by Robert Turpin on Monday Night Football. Like, we don't need that. And then we're also paying him good money, like on a 1-year deal. Like, we need depth, like cheap depth, and that's what Jalen's going to provide. And also, hey, Kalen Bullock said he's ecstatic about it, so maybe they can team up and help each other out. Kalen Bullock can kind of show him the ropes about what it's like being a Houston Texan. Maybe he can be a valuable 3rd round pick. 3rd round is pretty high. Yeah. Maybe it's a reach, but I'm gonna trust my gut for now and say B- on it, only because I'm thinking about if there's ever a time, God forbid, Derek Stingley goes down with like a concussion or like a knee injury and he's down for weeks, and we need to plug in someone at corner. Oh God, who do we have? Like what are we doing? Yeah, we have a guy like we think very highly of, and we got prepped and ready to go. Because it's pretty clear that we're gonna trust him to have a maybe not a key role on defense, but a key depth role on defense, and like you said, special teams. Special teams player. So I'm gonna trust. Like I said, I'm gonna trust the process and say B-. I don't think I'm gonna try to be different on this one. I'm gonna because a lot of people don't like this pick.
Yeah, I'm giving it a C+. I'm not far from you. I'm a little lower, but I mean, I just think, like I said, I don't know. You're right. We don't have Eric Murray anymore. Eric Murray got fucking paid pretty good from the Jaguars, which is interesting. I mean, Eric Murray would come in though whenever we needed him and would play well. I mean, he had his moments where he was balling. But so I mean, like maybe it's just it's more depth for that, and I appreciate that. C+ for me. But you're right. Kalen Bullock was somebody I didn't really care much. I didn't dislike the Kalen Bullock pick as much as I like. I'm not even going to say dislike, but as much as I was like, oh, okay, about this one.
Questionable. You can question the pick. Maybe not dislike it, but you can question it. Be like,
it's like okay, was that really what we needed to do with the 4th pick in the draft? And especially a guy who we reached. I mean, that guy was Jalen very may well have been available in the 5th or 6th. I mean, he was mocked to the 6th by a lot of people. So Maybe we'll see, but I trust it. C+ for me. All right, let's move on to this one. This one's exciting. I like this. This one's interesting. Woody Marks, running back out of USC as well. This is two teammates, 4 total players, but 2 of them that are on the same team. So Woody and Jalen Smith know each other, and obviously Jaden and Jalen know each other as well. So Woody Marks, running back out of USC, drafted by the Texans. You get more depth in that running back room, which is something I've wanted. I wanted a running back in this draft. I mean, we really can't. I was really hoping we weren't going to run back with just Mixon and Pierce again. And I like Dario Gunbowale, but he's got a ceiling. We know what he can do. I like a little more competition in the room, and I think Woody Marks is an interesting player. He's 24 years old, so he's not super young. He's up there, but he's gonna be. I think he'll be a solid running back too. And he's a pass. He's just a pass catching back. I mean, which is going to be nice. So bring him in on third down. If 3rd and 7, Woody is probably going to be able to be open and get those dirty yards for you out of the backfield. So I appreciate that. That'll be fun. That'll be a really fun guy to see come in on third downs for the Texans and help CJ out. So I like that aspect of it. But Garrett, what do you think?
The trade up is weird to me.
Yeah,
the trade up is weird because I didn't really know much about Woody Marks. Then I looked into him. I like his skill set. I like that he's a third down back. His pass blocking seems to be pretty solid. He's a pass catcher. I just don't know why we wouldn't have used that 4th pick in the draft on a running back instead of trading up what we gave a 2026 third rounder up for Woody Marks. So we like him a lot. And I know that 2026 third rounder is pretty much going to be a 4th rounder. It's going to be close enough to be a 4th rounder. But it is it's eye-popping to see that and go, oh, wow, they really liked Woody Marks. The age thing is another thing to me is, man, 24, huh? When's he going to turn 25? Do you know? Did he just turn 25?
I don't.
If he's gonna be like 25 when the season starts, that's
I don't think he's gonna be 25.
I'll look.
Season start. I have no idea though, to be honest. But I don't know what his birthday is. Hopefully,
he's gonna turn 25 in December.
Okay, so we're gonna have a 25-year-old rookie in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's I'm gonna here's my grade. I think I'm gonna give it a C+, with the opportunity of it becoming a higher grade based on his performance. Obviously, I have questions about, because also there's other running backs in the draft at the time.
Dylan Hampton was
he was available. There was other guys that I would have liked in that kind of skill set, that backup running back skill set.
Right.
But maybe maybe Woody Marks just absolutely dogged it out in the interviews and just was exactly what the Texans want. I wasn't in there. I wouldn't have fly on the wall. I wouldn't know. So I'm going to say C+, just because of the trade up is weird. Don't know a lot about him because I always looking at other running backs, and the age thing is weird to me.
Yeah. I'm giving it a B-, and I would be at a C+ with you. But the reason I knocked it up just one little bit is because I'm happy we got a running back. I'm happy we got a guy who can catch passes and can block. And I'm happy we added to the running back room and overall the offense, because that was obviously a point of, if you look at the draft, that was a point of emphasis for the Texans was the offense, and we knew that should be the case. And I'm happy it was. But going back to your point a minute ago, would have loved to maybe grab a running back where we got Jalen Smith. We traded up for Woody. I don't know if they just had their eyes on him and they knew when he was going to be available, and they just really were set on him. So we'll see. I think he's built like a brick shithouse. Like he's gonna be able to run through some guys. So I like that. He's older, and I think he's a little bit of he might be one note. And we might look back on this and he might have 1,200 yards next season and is a dog and whatnot. But I doubt it, but I hope so. That would be amazing. And also it gives us I think we're putting the Dameon Pierce era to rest, maybe a little bit. Maybe Dameon will still be on the team for special teams, like we've talked about. I think returning kicks is great. I think that's a great role for him. But if he's not on the team, I wouldn't be shocked because obviously he just hasn't lived up to his rookie season ever and has been really, really rough since we brought in Slowick. Maybe Nick Caley's offense will be easier for him to grasp, and maybe he'll have a role, but I doubt it. So B- for me for Woody Marks. One thing also, let me look. I have my notes here. Every single team every single player we've drafted up into this point, their teams were red and yellow. Minnesota has red and yellow jerseys, maybe not full time, but they have their red and yellow. USC's red and yellow. Iowa State's red and yellow. I think maybe Nick Caserio just likes red and yellow.
What are they cooking in there?
What are they cooking?
What are you cooking, Nick?
And then the red and yellow comes to an end here with safety Jalen Reed. Safety Jalen Reed out of Penn State. Interesting player. Another guy, we're getting to the point of the draft where I didn't know much about the guy, to be honest. People said he slipped. People said he slipped. People have said that Jalen Reed should have gone where Jalen Smith went. So I guess you could flip-flop that and maybe be like, oh, we got the same value if you do math and do all the shit. But Jalen Reed, safety, he plays fast. That's his deal. That's what he talked about in his post-draft interview. He's very swarm. He's very swarm, dude. He kind of plays like Petrie a little bit, just likes to just fly around the field, which I love. But I think one thing I've read about him is that kind of hurts him sometimes. Sometimes he's running full speed, blows coverage just because he's flying past the dudes,
overly
tackles.
aggressive. Okay.
Yes. So, but that's something that can be fixed. Like all these defensive guys, any problems they have, I totally think D'Amico can do. Obviously, he can figure it out and fix these flaws in these guys. This is not going to be a guy that we're going to see on the field a lot, I don't think. I think we'll see him out there every now and then. Maybe in next season or the year after, he'll have a bigger role and he'll grow and he'll learn. And because, look, with this defense, with behind C.J. Gardner-Johnson, with Petrie there, you can learn a lot from Petrie. Kalen Bullock, Kalen's going to be a second-year guy. I don't know how much you can learn. Obviously, something from the guy who had the season that Kalen Bullock just had. But I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to be a really good influence on Jalen Reed. So I'm excited about that. And also, Jaden. A lot of Jalens. A lot of Jays.
That was the joke. That was the jokes over the Texans. They were just collecting Jalens.
Yeah. What are they cooking? Red and yellow.
A bunch of red and yellows and Jalens. What are they cooking in there? This pick did know a lot about it. I wasn't looking at safety really, because I think we're solid at safety as long as Jimmy's healthy. Jimmy Ward's healthy. But when he's not healthy, this is perfect. This is perfect for Jalen Reed. This is perfect. Because if he was what people say that he's a swarm guy. Wait, we might be going back one pick. Did Woody Marks, was he the one that said Swarm City?
Swarm City, yeah.
I might have to bump
is dope.
I might bump his up. That's fucking awesome. Swarm City is sick.
Yeah.
But if going back to Jalen Reed, if he's got the swarm mentality, yeah, he might fit. They might see him as a seamless fit. Obviously, he's gonna have the growing pains as a rookie. Maybe he's overly aggressive. Maybe he'll blow some coverages. But like you say, he's not gonna see the field all the time. I'll give this a B-, just because of its depth. And sometimes I'll worry about the safety depth on our team because of Jimmy Ward's health. Because he's out a lot of the games. He's out.
Yeah.
Since we signed him, he's been out. So I don't hate the pick. I don't love the pick. It's just it's there.
Yeah.
Well, it will probably come back as one day he has like a pick six in the playoffs or something, and we're like,
yeah.
So
mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't.
What did I give this? I wrote down my grade. I gave the Jalen Reed a C+.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between C+ and B-. C+ is like not because he's a bad player. It's just one of those things. It's like, okay, we're addressing a position that we don't really have to address, but this is a depth pick. So
yeah,
I'm with you on that one, partner.
All right. Shout out Jalen Reed. Please be great. I hope you are. This is that part of the draft though, where it's like these guys. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Next pick is fucking something fucking stupid. Graham Mertz, quarterback out of where?
Florida.
Louisville, Florida, something like that.
Florida.
Okay.
Florida Gators.
Why, Garrett? Why?
I don't know. This one was weird. Maybe it's because they fully think that they're gonna trade Davis Mills. Maybe because I don't think they'll end up cutting Davis Mills.
No.
They extended him.
No.
I think if anything, Davis Mills is a trade candidate in the training camp. Maybe some team will need some kind of starter. Maybe a team will need a really good backup. They have Davis Mills. We can find a team. We can find a new home for Davis Mills for a draft pick. But
New Orleans. You need a quarterback. Derek Carr's in Vegas at church talking about his shoulder. Derek Carr is asking God about his shoulder. He's done.
Hey, Pittsburgh, do you need a quarterback? You know?
Yeah.
Instead of giving Aaron Rodgers what he wants, get Captain.
They're down to give Aaron Rodgers what he wants. They have already agreed to his terms. He just doesn't. I don't know what he's doing.
But back to the Graham Mertz. If he's going to be a backup, you could have got any better backup. There was a lot better backups in this draft.
Quinn Ewers was there.
Quinn Ewers was right there, and I know he probably doesn't. I don't think Quinn Ewers is good, but I think Graham Mertz is pretty bad. In fact,
I don't need it.
At one point, I'm pretty sure he got benched for DJ Lagway. So I don't know if he got injured. I might be totally wrong. Someone fact checked me on that. But he was benched at one point in the season for DJ Lagway, who is a good quarterback. But Graham Mertz is not a good quarterback to me. He's definitely just gonna be a long term. Who knows? He might not even make the team. I'm gonna give it a C-. No disrespect. He just. I mean, we don't. It's not like we didn't need a backup quarterback at this point. We could have gotten.
There wasn't anybody else. There wasn't.
Buddy, we could have got someone undrafted. Could have got someone undrafted.
No, we could have got him undrafted for I don't know. This one makes no sense to me. I think that the Davis trade is interesting. I think that might be a good point. There are teams who could use Davis Mills as a talent more than we are. I love having Mills on the team. His jersey is right behind me. I love Davis. I always have. And I don't know. If it would be a bummer to see Mills go, but if we can get some solid compensation for him, then sure. But I just don't understand this. I don't understand this.
I might even say a D+.
It's D.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I'm not. It's nothing that excites me. It's nothing that we needed. It's nothing that. I'm not. It's not even like I didn't even think about that. We kind of need. Yeah, no. It's just like I saw the pick when I was on a walk, and I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure, Aaron Will? Are you sure? Oh wow, okay, all right."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I honestly, I might give this an F.
I'm not gonna give it an F.
There's no need. It's really it's a dumb pick.
I'm not giving the Texans an F. Never. I'm never giving a draft pick an F.
Okay,
Never.
I'll give him a D.
I'm giving D+.
If Graham Mertz is Tom Brady, then so be it. But can you fucking imagine if CJ is Drew Bledsoe to Graham Mertz is Tom Brady?
I don't want to think about that. You want to hear Graham Mertz's numbers from this past year?
Yeah.
I know you don't. Hold on, let me pull them up. First of all, he's 24. He's older than CJ Stroud. Maybe this is purely we need CJ Stroud to have I don't understand that at all.
A competition for CJ Stroud?
Maybe we would light a fire under his ass. He played 5 games last year. He had 791 yards, 6 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. He had an okay quarterback rating, I guess. It was actually pretty good. But he's played in college since 2019. He transferred from Wisconsin to Florida. Wisconsin for 4 years, and they transferred to Florida for 2 years. And The most passing yards he's ever put up in a season is 2,900.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, Garrett, you could have told me he threw for 4,900 yards last year.
What was his 40?
I don't care.
Is he like Tim Tebow? I don't know.
That is what I was saying. I was like, do they want him to be a tight end? Like, are they gonna make? Like, are they
he's
gonna
6'3",
change?
212. That would be a small ass tight end. That's a small tight end, dude.
I don't know. I don't understand this, man.
I don't understand it. It's a D+ pick. I think maybe they just liked his mentality and they wanted him a funny guy in the locker room. Maybe he's funny. Maybe
he's a personality hire.
Yeah, maybe the personality guy, the funny guy at the lunch table. Maybe he pulls epic pranks. Maybe he's a good cook and they want a chef. They want a guy chefing it up in the locker room. There's probably a lot of layers to it. The interviews are probably great. I got to imagine. I don't know, but from where I'm sitting right now, from where these two guys are sitting, that's a D+ pick.
Dude, that's the only thing that makes any sense. But like, he must have been in the interviews like cracking Nick up, dude.
They're probably like, "This is the funniest guy I ever met."
Dude, he's like, "Dude, I like him."
They're probably on the board and they're like, "Yo, you remember we were sitting there at that meeting with Graham?
Yeah,
they told a funny story and they were like,
yeah,
let's get him. Let's bring him. Like I miss that guy. Let's
maybe be a fucking. We could turn him into like a Julian Edelman like quarterback to receiver thing or something. Whatever.
Maybe they do turn him into like a possession receiver. I don't know. You have a toy box right there, but he's the bro. He's the bro.
Maybe he's a bro. He's probably a bro. Graham Mertz. Yeah, I mean maybe Wisconsin guy. Sure. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck it. Who cares?
I don't like the pick though.
It's stupid. All right, let's get through these next two. We with the 8th pick in the Texans draft, Keontae Hamilton, defensive tackle. I don't know much about him. I can't sit here and say I know much. I haven't watched his film. I don't know much.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
We have a Texas podcast. We don't know anything about him, but I do know one thing. He's a defensive tackle. And we kind of needed to address depth at defensive tackle because there's kind of a platoon already going on. There's no real defensive tackle solidified starter on our team. So we're adding a guy to the mix and we're inviting more competition. I think that's a B- pick right there because it's also what was it, the 7th round? Yeah, it's a 7th round guy, late 7th round guy. Yeah, B-. It's just more competition. Who knows? He might even just be a practice squad guy for now. But I mean, still, he's
a defensive tackle body, which is nice because we don't have a ton of dudes, honestly, and under contract at least. So he'll be there, and maybe D'Amico can fix him up. Maybe we can get him going.
I can absolutely see him later this season, kind of coming in on different packages because like of injuries or something, and he's brought up. And we were kind of like, we put him in on 3rd down packages or something like that. And maybe he makes a pressure or two. I don't know. But, hey, depth, practice squad guy for now, probably B-. Sure.
Yeah. And lastly, the Mr. Irrelevant of the Texans draft class, which this is one of my favorite picks.
I was going to say the same thing.
This is one of my favorite picks in the draft with the late 7th round pick, tight end Luke Lachey.
I think it's Lachey.
Lachey.
When I was watching his highlights, every announcer said Luke Lachey.
Lachey. Okay. He tight end, obviously, which is something I was hoping that they would grab. They didn't grab one until the end of the 7th. Out of Iowa, he was good at Iowa when he could play. When he was on the field, he was good. Not
eye-popping numbers. Obviously,
he missed a lot of time. He missed a lot of time to injuries.
He's a big body guy. He looks good receiving the ball. Mm-hmm. He looks good blocking the ball.
Yeah, he's a good blocker.
As a 7th round pick, this is great. This is great. Maybe he comes in and he's kind of good at training camp, and we think, he makes the team. Maybe he makes the team in the tight end group. Maybe he bumps out Irv Smith Jr. And he slots in. Maybe he makes a few plays, and then we can build on him being our tight end of the future. Who knows? Yeah. This is kind of like an investment pick at tight end. We're like, hey,
which is all these 7th round picks. They're all like that. Yeah. It's all like
investment picks. I mean, but Dalton Schultz, we know we've said what we said about him. Cade Stover kind of having a rough rookie year. Brevin Jordan is coming back from injury. Who knows if he can, retain his athleticism that he had.
Mm-hmm.
But right now you're kind of investing in Luke Lachey
Yeah.
coming from tight end university, tight end U,
Yeah.
to maybe be Nick Caley's guy going forward after this season, because I don't see him being featured prominently. But 2026 maybe he comes in as tight end 2, tight end 1 maybe, and like we're talking about Luke Lachey being, oh wow, we kind of got a really jack of all trades kind of tight end here. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, Luke Lachey is coming into an interesting situation too, where the tight end room is somewhat of an even playing field. No, like we don't have, obviously Schultz is getting the money. He's a guy that is making good money. Texas made an investment in him, so he's probably he is the front runner in that room. But everyone else is pretty much on the same level. Brevin didn't play last year, so obviously he's getting knocked down a peg. This was after 2023 with his performance in that Browns playoff game. I had higher hopes for Brevin coming into 24. Gets hurt, can't do anything about that. Cade Stover, not bad. I didn't dislike what I saw from Stover. No, didn't put up any real good numbers. Didn't do anything crazy.
Blocking, I'll tell you that much. He was not.
Yeah,
blocking.
like he had, I think, 1 touchdown. I don't know. He catches passes every now and then, but still about the same level of kind of hope or potential as like Brevin, and similarly to Schultz at this point, sadly. And then Irv Smith, I don't know. Sure, he can be in there as well. And then you have Lachey, and he's going to come into this. He could that tight end 2 spot behind Schultz, and possibly being on the same level as Schultz or higher is up for grabs. I mean, it's really a genuine competition in the tight end room right now of like who's going to be the option, but at tight end 2 and tight end 1 to the future. So I think Luke Lachey is in a good position. If he can come in and stay healthy, he's a good blocker. He's like I said, he can go out there. He didn't have any goddamn good quarterback to play with. So like it's like who knows? Like you mentioned, tight end U. I like this pick a lot. I gave this a B+. I might give it an A. Like I like it a lot.
I'm gonna keep it a B+ for now because, I mean, from what we've seen from Luke Lachey, yeah, he looks pretty good, but I don't see anything like, oh wow, we got a diamond in the rough type of player. For now, I see a guy that we want to develop, and hopefully he can become a Nick Caley kind of guy who maybe also a New England kind of guy. These New England back in the day, besides Gronk and fucking Murder Boy, he was he's a bad guy. He was a bad guy.
He committed a couple murders. Yeah, you can call him Murder Boy.
They just had a lot of like big body tight ends that would come in, revolving door kind of, and they would block really well, and they would catch balls from Tom Brady every now and then, and they did their job. They did their job in New England. So
did their job. Do your job.
I see Luke Lachey being that kind of guy. Maybe not, like, definitely not at the first of the season. Maybe he comes in later in the season because of injuries. Maybe he's 2026 tight end 1 for the Houston Texans. It's an investment pick, B+. I just looked. He's 6'6", 250, and there's 2 of them. No,
6'6", 250, and there's 2 of me.
Yeah.
Shout out Social Network. Shout out Army Hammer, I think. All right, but yeah, I like the pick. Give it a B+, and that'll round out the Texans 2025 NFL draft.
Yeah, I think overall this is like a solid B draft.
Yeah,
maybe a B+ draft. There was some really good picks in there. I'm gonna say B+. Draft.
I'll give it a B. And I think the Graham Mertz pick just kills it. I mean, I think if you're knocking down the grade point average, if we picked any other position, like literally any other position, maybe other than kicker, I would have liked a kicker more than a quarterback. We would have. We would get more use out of a kicker than a quarterback in the 7th round. It would have been better.
Okay,
it's
sorry.
Fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like it's dumb. So other than that, I like the draft a lot. I think it's at times it's obviously we got the 2 big receivers. That's exciting. Got a running back, but nothing splashy. Obviously, moving out of the first round, you're not gonna get these bigger, huge name guys in the draft. But I think with I think Caserio made some good moves. I think he made some bad moves. To be honest, I didn't love everything he did, but overall, I like the draft a lot.
The good outweighs the bad, in my opinion. There's not much bad. Maybe the Graham Mertz is the only bad pick, but when he starts doing the funny locker room TikToks and he's entertaining us while we're 10-0, then we're gonna look back and be like, no, not a bad locker room guy, not a bad pick. Not a bad pick, man.
Yeah. If we're 10-0, I don't give a fuck. If we're 10-0, I don't give a goddamn what we do. Yeah.
But yeah, B+ in my opinion. We addressed the needs without breaking the bank. We didn't have to like trade up or anything. We got maybe we got a starting receiver, 2 maybe starting receivers, a starting tackle possibly, backup running back. We addressed a bunch of needs that we really needed to push. So
yeah,
good drafts, guys.
Yeah, good draft. And now we're looking forward to rookie minicamp, which is coming up here in a couple of weeks, or maybe even sooner. I don't know. I haven't looked at the exact dates. But
I'm gonna try to go. I don't know how hard it's gonna be to go, but I'm gonna try to go.
I think you can walk right in. I think you'll be fine, and definitely go get some shots. And that's coming up. Then we're after rookie minicamp. There's gonna be some OTAs, and then we're gonna be in a dead period of the off season. Really like June to late July, and then then we got training camp, and then when training camp comes back around, then it feels all good. It feels like we're finally getting back.
So I can get there, man. So I can get there.
I can't wait. I can't believe it's April.
Rockets are about to be out. They're about to be first rounded. Actually, you know what? Let's take our time because I see something brewing with the over there in Daikin. We'll see.
Yeah, the Astros are cooking. I think they're not bad. They're not bad.
Way better than they were last year at this point. Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
So, obviously the Houston's. We're about to be in a really shitty sports calendar time. Like it's when it's just baseball. Basically. Maybe there's soccer. But it's nice right now when the Rockets are in the playoffs and the Astros are playing. The draft is going on. Like it's fun. Free agency, it was fun. But then
that was a good weekend. It was a good weekend of sports.
Yeah, it was, man.
It was nice.
This past weekend was fun.
Every TV at the bar, it was draft.
Yep.
Called
something
baseball.
interesting.
Something going on. No matter what.
Texas versus A&M, Astros on, Rockets on, draft on. It was great. We're about to get into a little bit of a lull, but that'll be okay.
Sports.
Yeah, but I just can't wait, man. It's almost May here in a couple days. Get through May, get through June. It's July, and then it's August, and it's time.
Hey, don't underrate some, rookie. We got schedule release too.
True, yeah, and we'll sit here. We milk that schedule release, dude.
I love schedule release.
Yeah,
I was sitting we were live streaming for the draft, and Colleen Wolfe and whoever came out and announced everyone was booing. Everyone around me was like, "Get on! What are you doing? Who cares?" Josh over there was like, "I don't care about this." I was like, "Hey, I do care about this." May 14th. Yeah. All right. May 14th, guys. I'm excited.
Put in your calendar. Yeah. Big day. May 14th, and then we're gonna go and look and be like, and then the Texans we're gonna be like, Texans are probably gonna go 14-2 or 14-3 or whatever the fucking thing is, and it's and then they probably won't, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to predict anything right now. I don't know. I'm good. Let's just thank our sponsors and go.
All right. Thanks so much to our sponsors over there at Big City Wings and Zing Zang. Big City Wings, man. Good time over there.
Oh yeah, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. I know a bunch of us watched Rockets over there over the weekend, NBA playoffs, NFL draft, obviously, Astros. This is one of the sports watching joints that you can go, and there's locations all over Houston. Delicious wings, delicious beer, great service, great vibes. So thank you a lot to Big City Wings, and also thank you Zing Zang. Bloody Mary Mix, There's all kinds of stuff. They have the Michelada mix. That's brand new. They have the blazing flavor. This is just the mix, but they also have pre-made canned with actual vodka in it. So you can either have your choice of vodka or have the vodka straight from the can. It's all good. So thank you, Zing Zang Zang, responsibly. And also, again, thank you, Big City Wings.
Always Zang responsibly. And then also, if you're going to Big City Wings and you're going to have their big old tall boy mugs of beer, also be responsible doing that. But you should go do that. It's incredible. All right, guys. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Apollo Texans and Apollo HOU on every social media platform that we got. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.
Go Texans. Watch Texans. See ya.